Okay, so ready for a deep dive into a book that's, well, it's touched a lot of lives.
It has.
Kahlil Gibran's The Prophet,
Yeah.
like those quotes you see like everywhere online about love and life
Oh, yeah.
and purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today we're going deeper than those, like,
Deeper than the...
Instagram-worthy snippets to
Yeah.
uncover the real wisdom in Gibran's words.
Yeah, it's one thing to, like, appreciate a quote, when you see it.
Right.
But then it's a whole other thing to understand how all these ideas, like, fit together.
Yeah.
And then how they apply to our lives.
Yeah.
That's what we're aiming for today.
I love that.
A roadmap.
A roadmap, okay?
Yeah.
No pressure, but we've got a lot to unpack.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
The Prophet is about, well, it's structured around a prophet, Mustafa,
Right.
who's about to leave the city of Orphalese after 12 years.
It's a long time.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
spending over a decade somewhere?
I mean, and he's so clearly torn about leaving, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's deeply connected to the people there.
Yeah.
But he feels this, like, pull of destiny.
Yeah.
Gibran compares it to not even just shedding a garment, but, like, tearing off his own skin.
Wow.
That imagery always gets me.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like how raw his emotions are
Yeah.
about leaving.
It's deep.
It makes me think about, like, in my own life, when I've had to say goodbye to, a person or a place that's become part of who I am.
Yeah.
It's never easy.
It's really not, no.
And it's in those moments, I think, those moments of big transition
Yeah.
where we look for wisdom.
You're
And-
looking for something to hold on to. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what happens next, right? So Almitra, this seeress, she approaches Al-Mustafa
Okay.
and asks him to leave them with, like, his insights.
It's like she's saying, you've touched our lives.
Yeah.
Hear what you've learned.
Don't leave us empty-handed, basically. And I think he recognizes, like, their longing is a reflection of his own,
Yeah.
He's going on this journey.
Into the unknown.
Into the unknown, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's human nature to want to, like, grab onto something before you do that.
Totally.
So he agrees.
Yeah.
And he starts, naturally, with love.
Of course. Yeah.
It's a universal language, right?
It is. Yeah.
But what I find so fascinating about Gibran is he doesn't shy away from, like, the duality of it.
Right.
He describes it as this transformative force that can bring immense joy, but also profound pain.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he uses this metaphor of a threshing floor, where wheat is separated from the husk.
Right.
He says that, like, love strips you bare.
Okay.
It refines you until you become sacred bread.
Wow. A
Yeah.
really powerful image.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me that real love, it's not always easy.
No.
It's not always, like, comfortable.
Right.
It challenges us,
Yeah. It pushes us to grow.
And sometimes that growth can be painful.
Sometimes it's really painful.
Yeah.
And it's in that process, I think, that we really discover ourselves.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think because he understands that love is this active process, it's a journey that directly influences, like, his perspective on marriage.
Okay.
It's funny, he uses the imagery of two pillars supporting a shared structure.
Okay, so they stand together, but they're still their own thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Strong individuals creating the space for something, to flourish between them.
Yeah, it's a good reminder, I think, to, even in a relationship,
Yeah.
like, don't lose yourself.
Don't lose yourself in the relationship.
Yeah.
He actually cautions against becoming too enmeshed.
Does he really?
He says, and this is a quote that always stuck with me,
Okay.
fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup.
Yeah.
It's about being interdependent without losing your identity.
I love that.
That's good advice.
And that applies to, I think, all relationships, really.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not just romantic ones. Speaking of relationships, though,
Yeah.
his take on children,
Oh, this is a big one.
it's really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he challenges that traditional idea of children as possessions.
Okay.
Instead, he says that they're arrows sent forth with a purpose beyond our understanding.
It's about, like, trusting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And surrendering.
Yeah, we can nurture them, we
Yeah.
can guide them, but ultimately their path is their own.
It is.
He even says parents are like bows bent by a greater force
I love that.
to drive home that point.
That's so good.
We're not in complete control,
Right.
It's humbling.
It is.
But also kind of awe-inspiring, don't you think?
It really is. It
Yeah.
makes you realize that, like, the core of parenting is letting go.
Yeah.
And that's a theme, I feel like, that we see throughout his work.
A lot of letting go.
Letting go, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Right.
We've covered love, marriage, children.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And that's like the first few pages.
I know. He's just getting started.
Oh, my gosh.
But that's where he takes us next.
Okay.
He goes into, like, the flow of life itself.
Okay.
Giving, receiving, finding meaning in our everyday actions.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's see where he takes us. You know, it's really amazing how he takes these, like, everyday experiences, like love and family, and shows us, like, how deep they really are.
Yeah, like there's so much more there than we think.
Exactly.
On a surface.
It makes you wonder what he'd have to say about, like...
What does he have to say about
I don't know, the way we move through the world, you know?
I like that.
Those little actions we take every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of where he takes us next.
Okay.
He goes from those relationships to the flow of life itself. He finds, like, real meaning.
Yeah.
And even the most, I don't know. Mundane, actions.
Interesting.
Like giving.
Okay.
Eating. Working.
Okay, I'm very curious about this. Because we do all those things every day.
Every day, yeah.
But I bet he doesn't see them as just ordinary.
No, he doesn't.
Like, what's he say about giving?
So he challenges the idea that it's all about possessions, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Material things.
Right.
He says it comes from a much deeper place.
Where?
Like giving of yourself, your time, energy, compassion.
That makes me think about people who, like, maybe don't have a lot of material wealth.
Yeah.
But they give so much of themselves.
Yeah, they're the most generous people sometimes.
It's like the most genuine kindness comes from that place, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, and he talks about how we can get caught up in this fear of, like...
Not having enough.
Yeah. And he says, fear of future need is itself a form of need.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like that fear itself becomes a self-fulfilling thing.
Right, because then you hold on so tight.
Exactly. You're not open to receiving.
Right.
Because you're so afraid of, you know...
Of losing what you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's like we miss out on all the abundance because we're so scared.
That's really good.
And this idea, you know, of giving and receiving, like, it goes even further for him.
Really?
Like, he sees it in everything.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, well, he talks about eating and drinking.
Okay.
Which seems so simple, right?
Right, very basic.
But he's like, even these things, they can be almost sacred if we do them with mindfulness.
Interesting, with gratitude. Okay, that's a new way to look at dinner.
Yeah.
How do we actually do that, though?
Well, okay, so he uses this example of eating an apple.
Okay, I love apples.
He says, when you crush an apple with your teeth, say to it in your heart, your seeds shall live in my body, and the buds of your tomorrow shall blossom in my heart.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's powerful imagery.
Yeah, it's like we're part of this.
Like whole cycle,
a bigger cycle.
Of life and death, renewal.
It's about, like, remembering that we're connected.
Exactly, to everything.
Even an apple. Yeah, I like that.
And, you know, this interconnectedness, we see it again and again with giving, receiving.
Okay.
And even something we might not expect. Work.
Oh, work.
Yeah, interesting. It's like we think of work as this thing we have to do.
Right, sometimes it feels like a chore.
Right, like a burden.
Yes.
He doesn't see it that way at all.
What does he see it as?
He says, work is love made visible.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah.
So not about the drudgery of it.
No.
But the love that goes into it.
Yeah, and how it connects us.
To something bigger.
With something bigger, yeah. You know, and when we work with that mindset, he says it's a form of binding.
Okay, like it connects us. To ourselves.
Near each other.
To something beyond us. It makes you wonder if, like, finding that fulfillment in our work, even the stuff we don't love so much, is about finding, like, where it connects with our values, our truth.
Yeah, it's like, what do you love about it?
Yeah.
What connects you to it?
It's a beautiful thought.
It is.
And maybe, like, that sense of connection, of meaning, is what lets us, like, navigate those ups and downs in life.
Exactly. Which brings us to, I think, like the next part of, you know, our deep dive, which is how do we navigate those very depths, those moments of joy and sorrow that we all experience.
It's funny, isn't it?
What's that?
How we, always look for meaning in the big moments.
The big milestones, yeah.
Yeah, the achievements.
Right.
But it seems like Gibran's saying real wisdom is in, navigating the everyday stuff.
Yeah, just riding the waves of life.
The ebb and flow.
Exactly.
Those moments of joy and sorrow,
Absolutely. He doesn't shy away from those.
No, he doesn't.
He leans right into the, challenging parts of life.
He says, your joy is your sorrow unmasked.
Oh, I love that quote.
I've heard that before, but in light of everything we've talked about.
Right. It hits different.
It hits different. It's you can't have one without the other.
Two sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She even compares them to, scales, balancing our experience.
Say so.
It's not that we should wallow in sadness.
Right.
But to really feel the heights of joy, we also have to acknowledge the lows.
The depths.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's that saying, the deeper the sorrow, the greater the capacity for joy.
Right. It's like...
Yeah. For so long, I thought I had to avoid, difficult emotions.
All of them.
All of them.
Push them down.
But maybe he's saying there's something there.
There's something to be learned.
In the pain.
Absolutely, he actually says. Yeah. Pain is the breaking of the shell.
Oh, wow.
That encloses your understanding.
Okay, that makes me think of a seed.
Right.
Like breaking open.
Like it has to break.
Yeah.
To grow.
To become something new.
Exactly.
It's just we resist pain so much.
Yeah, it's human nature.
But he's like, what if?
What if it's an opportunity?
An opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, and that idea of embracing discomfort, it even comes up when he talks about houses.
Houses, okay.
Yeah.
I would not have put those two things together.
Interesting, right.
What do houses have to do with?
Well, he uses it as a metaphor for how we get attached to comfort and security and how that can actually...
hold us back.
Yeah, stifle our growth.
Okay.
He says, don't let your home become a tamer of your desires.
Wow. It's not about living in discomfort all the time.
No, not at all.
But not getting too
too comfortable.
Yeah, too settled.
Complacent.
Yes, exactly.
He wants us to be free.
Okay, I like that.
And then he talks about clothes.
Clothes.
Okay, this is interesting too.
Yeah.
He's like, even the way we dress can be about,
What? Societal expectations.
Totally, yeah.
Interesting.
How much are we letting those things dictate our choices?
Yeah, I like that.
And he has this line, he says, the wind longs to play with your hair.
I love that line.
It's so simple.
It is, yeah.
But it says so much,
It's about being, your true self.
Exactly, yeah. Not letting anything hold you back.
I like that.
And I think that leads him into this whole other discussion about, the individual in society.
Okay.
He talks about commerce, justice.
These big topics.
Big, big topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as always, he wants us to look deeper.
Beyond the surface.
Yeah, like with buying and selling, for example.
Okay, yeah.
It's not just about the stuff.
Yeah.
It's about fairness.
Okay.
Mutual benefit.
Okay, how do we actually,
Yeah, and he even says, see that no one has gone his way with empty hands.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like everyone should benefit.
Right, not just a few.
Exactly.
And that's especially important, I think.
I think so, too.
When he talks about crime and punishment. Yeah, that's a tough one.
It is. And he really challenges us to...
to rethink things.
Yeah, rethink justice.
Yeah, because he says it's not enough to just judge.
Right, and punish.
Yeah, we have to recognize our role in it.
Yeah, our interconnectedness, that we all have a part in creating a more just world.
A better world.
Exactly.
It's a call for empathy, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
Seeing how our actions affect others.
And how we're all connected.
It's we're responsible for each other.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, and that idea comes up again.
When he talks about laws.
Laws, okay.
He's like,
yeah.
Blindly following rules
okay.
can stifle us.
It can.
Our natural instinct.
Toward freedom.
Yeah, exactly. He asks, who can command the skylark not to sing?
It's such a powerful image. You can't control that.
Yep.
It's going to sing.
It's going to sing, yeah.
And that's our spirit.
Exactly. We all have that.
That desire to be free.
And he talks a lot about freedom.
Does he? What does he say?
He says, it doesn't come from getting everything we want.
It's not about that.
No, it's about rising above that.
Above our desires.
Yeah. Like, even the desire for freedom itself can hold us back.
Interesting.
If we cling to it too tightly.
It's about, like, finding that freedom on the inside.
Within ourselves, yeah.
Yeah, not from, like, external things.
Exactly. And that's a journey.
It is a journey.
And this book, it's like a guidebook for that journey, you know?
Yeah.
Full of wisdom and insights to help us
navigate all of it.
Exactly, yeah.
All the ups and downs.
And like a good guidebook.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you everything. It makes you ask your own questions.
It makes you think.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so timeless, you know?
It's not about, like, telling you how to live your life.
Exactly, but just like...
But about asking those questions.
Asking the questions, yeah. And figuring out your own answers.
So I think as we're wrapping up this deep dive, I'm really feeling like grateful for Gibran's word.
Me too. He was really onto something.
He was. He didn't shy away from, like, the big questions.
Hard stuff.
The hard stuff,
All the messy parts of life.
He leaned into it all.
Yeah, and by doing that, he showed us a way to live, I think.
To live more fully.
Yeah, more meaningfully.
Yes.
And I hope, you know, if listeners take one thing away from this, it's to go and read the prophet.
Yes. Read it
for yourself.
For yourself.
Yeah, let it challenge you.
Yeah.
And see what comes up.
Let it spark something.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's it for this episode of The Deep Dive.
Until next time.
Happy reading.